Tell me, when was the last time something in the world made you stop and think, wow, does this really exist? Why, does this exist for real? Welcome to the most incredible animals on the planet. In the forests of Borneo, in Southeast Asia, large rivers cut through the jungle. These rivers flow before emptying into the sea. Along these banks, dense mangroves and trees grow right in the water. This forms one of the last great refuges of biodiversity on Earth. Among the branches of this forest lives a monkey that looks like a cartoon character. This unmistakable primate is the proboscis monkey. Its body is agile, and its orange fur stands out against the green forest. But what no one can ignore is its nose, which hangs below its mouth. Why do the males have such an exaggerated nose? It acts as a sound amplifier. When they want to impress females or scare off rivals, the nose swells. The bigger the nose, the more impressive the sound, and the more attractive the male. The proboscis monkey also has uncommon skills. It is an exceptional swimmer, capable of crossing wide rivers. And it risks itself even in waters where crocodiles live. The bigger the nose, the more impressive the sound, and the more attractive the male.
This allows it to digest toxic leaves that other primates simply cannot eat.
In the Komodo Islands, in Indonesia, tropical forests cover rugged terrain.
They are bathed in a humid heat that never gives a break.
The vegetation grows dense, with vines and trees forming a real labyrinth. It is a beautiful environment from a distance, but dangerous up close.
Among the branches, something waits motionless. You don't hear it, nor do you perceive it.
Its metallic blue color is the only thing that gives away its presence.
It is the blue viper.
Its hemotoxic venom destroys tissue from the inside. It affects blood coagulation and causes internal bleeding.
It is not a venom that kills quickly.
What makes all this even more unsettling is that it attacks quickly, in silence, and without hesitation. The thermoreceptors between its eyes and nostrils detect the heat emitted by other bodies in absolute darkness.
It doesn't need light to hunt.
If it finds you, it is already too late. In the vast region of the Congo, in the heart of Africa, extends one of the tropical forests with the greatest wealth of wildlife on the planet.
Here, trees that exceed 40 meters in height form a canopy so closed that only a few rays of light reach the ground.
Between leaves in decomposition, roots at the open, and fallen trunks, millions of insects keep in movement the complex network of life of this forest. It is in this mysterious environment where one of the most incredible animals on the planet lives.
The pangolin.
At first glance, this creature seems almost impossible. Its body is covered by hundreds of rigid scales that overlap like plates, recalling the armor of a medieval knight. This protection is very effective.
Against any threat, it simply curls up, forming a compact ball that protects the most vulnerable parts of the body.
The pangolin is an authentic expert in finding anthills and termite mounds hidden in the ground or inside trunks. When it locates a nest, one of the most surprising tools of the animal kingdom comes into action. An extremely long tongue, capable of exceeding 40 centimeters in some specimens.
In a single night, a pangolin can consume thousands of insects.
And as it has no teeth in its mouth, nature has found a curious solution.
An authentic stomach with teeth.
Inside, hardened structures and small stones, swallowed along with the food, function as a natural mill that crushes everything it eats. Australia harbors some of the most venomous species on the planet, and its arid interior is found among the most hostile environments on Earth. Here, dry heat dominates the landscape, and the vegetation challenges the sun.
Temperatures easily exceed 40 degrees. Shade is a scarce privilege in this territory.
It is an environment that demands creativity to survive. Between the rocks and the dry earth lives a reptile that almost always goes unnoticed. But when it feels threatened, something unexpected happens. A large membrane around the neck opens suddenly. In seconds, a common lizard transforms into an intimidating creature.
This is the frilled lizard.
The collar seems exaggerated, but it has a clear function: to scare.
When it opens, the small lizard transforms into a figure much larger than it really is. If that is not enough, it abandons the threat and runs quickly on two legs, crossing the forest floor like a small dinosaur in miniature.
But this animal holds another incredible strategy. The females can store the male's sperm for months after mating.
Thus, egg fertilization can occur much later, when the environment offers better conditions for the birth of the young.
If this journey has surprised you so far, consider leaving a like. It is a simple gesture and makes a big difference for us.
In the swamps and flooded areas of Uganda, vast plains covered in papyrus and aquatic vegetation extend as far as the eye can see. And it is in this swampy scenario where a strange and imposing figure remains completely motionless at the water's edge.
This ancient and enigmatic bird is the shoebill.
Unlike most birds, with eyes on the sides, the shoebill has a frontal vision like ours. A precise vision that intensifies its fixed and intimidating gaze, almost like a villain looking at the camera. It maintains that contact for long seconds, without averting its gaze. It has no vocal cords like other birds, but transforms its own beak into a sound weapon. That sound resonates through the swamps, serving both to communicate and to intimidate any creature that dares to approach. In the Sonoran Desert in the United States, the sun beats down on a landscape marked by dry soil, spiny vegetation, and resistant shrubs. During the day, the heat is so intense that most animals simply disappear. At night, the temperature drops sharply, and the desert reveals another face. Silent, but full of movement. And it is in this scenario where a small creature emerges from the shadows. With long hind legs and a remarkable balance, it jumps across the arid ground with an agility that seems disproportionate to its tiny size.
This little being is the kangaroo rat.
And for how small it is, this animal holds a secret that defies logic.
It can live its whole life without drinking water. But how to survive in one of the driest environments on the planet without ever drinking water?
The kangaroo rat gets all the water it needs solely from the food it consumes, thanks to a highly efficient metabolism.
But its skills don't stop there.
Its hind legs function as high-pressure springs.
When a rattlesnake attacks, it reacts in less than 100 milliseconds, changing direction in the air with the help of its tail.
Here, surviving is being faster than death.
In Kazakhstan, the plains extend for thousands of kilometers without a single tree interrupting the horizon.
The wind sweeps the steppes, lifting dust over a landscape that seems to have no end.
Most predators cannot reach a peregrine falcon's nest. The cliff face is too high, too sheer, too exposed. A honey badger doesn't care about any of that. It just starts climbing.
High on a narrow ledge of rock, carved into the face of a towering cliff, in a harsh, semi-desert landscape. Eggs rest in the simplest nest you will ever see. No woven grass, no soft lining. Just gravel, stone fragments, and the sheer height of the cliff itself doing most of the work. Height is the peregrine falcon's first line of defense. It always has been. Very few animals in this landscape are capable of reaching a ledge this exposed, this vertical, this remote from the ground. The falcons chose it deliberately, the way they choose everything, with precision. But the cliff has a shadow side, dark crevices running down the rock face. Gaps and handholds invisible from above, and something has already found them. The honey badger is not an animal that audits risk in the way most creatures do. It does not look at a vertical cliff face and calculate whether the climb is worth it. It smells something above. It starts climbing. Its claws grip the rock with a kind of stubborn, mechanical certainty. Meter by meter, the heavy body hauls itself upward through the crevices, unhurried, committed. The father falcon has left to hunt. The mother is alone on the ledge with everything that matters. She spots the honey badger below, and she begins to climb the sky. A peregrine falcon does not fight like an eagle. It does not grip and overpower. It does not circle and wait for a clean position. Its weapon is something else entirely.
Speed so extreme that the impact of the dive itself becomes the force.
In a full stoop, wings folded tight against the body, a peregrine falcon becomes a living projectile.
The fastest animal on the planet, over 300 kilometers per hour, straight down.
Aimed with a precision that evolution has been refining for millions of years. She reaches altitude, folds her wings, drops. The first strike hits the honey badger like a collision. It does not circle and wait for a clean position. Its weapon is something else entirely. She climbs again, dives again. The impact is violent enough to risk injuring her own body. She does it again anyway, and again. Every strike is a calculated sacrifice for safety. The honey badger is heavier than she is. It has loose, rubbery skin that absorbs impact. It keeps climbing through strikes that would knock anything else off the wall. Then one final dive. The timing is exact. The impact is enough. The cliff shudders. The honey badger grips harder and keeps climbing. It catches itself on a lower ledge, shakes itself off, and begins to climb again.
The father falcon comes back from the hunt and reads the situation in an instant.
What was one peregrine diving alone becomes two. Two birds, same precision, same speed. The honey badger cannot track two simultaneous threats from above while maintaining its grip. Wave after wave of aerial strikes, relentless, without any gap long enough to recover in. The honey badger finally retreats. It descends back through the crevices and disappears into the rocky valleys below. The ledge is quiet again. Eggs, undamaged, still waiting. We go deeper into the wild than the highlight reels ever go. A few days pass. The ledge is calm. The parents take turns on the nest, rotating with quiet efficiency, keeping the eggs warm through the cold desert nights and the scalding midday heat. Then a sound, faint, from inside one of the eggs. A tiny crack forms along the shell. Then the shell gives way from the inside, and something small and wet and impossibly fragile pushes its way into the open air. Then the second egg, then the third, then the fourth. 4 small heads, eyes that have never seen sunlight.
Beaks open, and already searching for something, running on pure instinct before they have any idea what instinct is.
They are ridiculous, and they are magnificent, and they are the entire reason that Mother flew into a cliff face repeatedly. The parents look at them. There is no anthropomorphizing needed here. The father leaves the ledge and banks out over the dry plains below. Those same eyes that tracked the honey badger climbing a cliff face now scan the desert floor for the twitch of a mouse emerging from its burrow, the shift of a lizard crossing open ground. The same motion as the defensive dive, now repurposed entirely, the same physics, the same terrifying speed. The strike is clean. He carries the mouse back to the ledge. He tears the prey carefully, methodically, and feeds each one in turn. The desert's harshness feeding new life through the only mechanism it has ever used. Below the ledge, the semi-desert goes on doing what it has always done. Small birds gather before nightfall. Insects cross the evening air in brief, unhurried drifts. Every one of them working the same equation: find enough, avoid what hunts you, survive until tomorrow. The mother folds her wings over 4 sleeping chicks as the last of the daylight leaves the cliff face. The father stands at the ledge edge, still watching, still reading the air. The honey badger is somewhere in the valleys below. It will try again, somewhere, for something. But tonight, on this ledge, the eggs that were defended have become the chicks that were fed. The fight that almost went wrong has produced 4 small, breathing answers to the question of whether it was worth it. Every one of them working the same equation: find enough, avoid what hunts you, survive until tomorrow. If you watch this one to the end, leave a comment telling us which animal you want Fauna to cover next.
Subscribe if you haven't yet, and we will see you in the next story.